You're listening to Rise to Your Purpose, a personal and spiritual development podcast for female entrepreneurs with a mission.
We're your hosts, Brandie and Natalie.
Welcome to another episode of Rise to Your Purpose. On this episode, you're going to get to hear from Jen O'Donnell. Jen is a mindset coach who works with leaders in the network marketing industry, and she is going to break down a mindset strategy and concept that will help you as a female entrepreneur go into 2021 with the right mindset and be aware of where you need to maybe make those shifts and do some reprogramming of your mind this year. So I'm super excited to let you hear this interview with Jen O'Donnell and Brandie Thomas, so enjoy. Hi everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. If you're listening on the podcast or if you're watching this live, welcome Purpose Partners. We're so excited for you to be here today. For those of you who are new to the podcast or to my page, my name is Brandie Thomas, and I'm one of the co-founders of Victorious Entrepreneurs Rising, and here we're on a mission to help you build a business that works for you while creating kingdom impact. So I'm really excited to introduce you to my friend, Jen O'Donnell. Jen is a mindset coach for leaders in the network marketing industry. Her mission is to empower women in business and help them overcome the mind drama that is holding them back from leveling up in their business. I mean, we all need that. How many times have we all experienced that mind drama that's, causes us to self-sabotage? So today we're actually going to be discussing the mindset you need to have as a female entrepreneur as you're diving into 2021. So Jen is going to share a concept with you guys so that you can begin shifting your mind to achieve your goals this year. And I'm really excited for you all to learn from her today because she has so much value to offer. So Jen, tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got into this coaching space.
Yeah, so I've been in direct sales network marketing for almost 10 years, and I moved into a leadership position. And just from moving myself from brand new person in that industry to a leadership position and then working with so many women, I learned the power of your mind, which I didn't really understand. I have a nursing background, so I was a registered nurse before. And so when I learned, really, you need skills, but when you harness your mind and what goes into it, you really have better results over the skill piece, I would say. And so, whatever you think about is kind of, you've ever heard, what you think about, you bring about. What you think about all day long really does impact how you act, how you behave, what comes to, you and your way. And I think we have, as women, we have such great potential. Half of us are not using it. And so that was me before I got into this industry, and it greatly impacted my life. And so I wanted to be able to help other women, and especially help leaders. I love women that are big thinkers, strive for greatness and excellence, women that love the Lord, and they want to make a huge, massive impact in the world, because you get to be that. You get to be that influencer as a leader. You get to have that massive influence and impact, and that's really exciting. And so I love that. But you got to harness your inner game to be able to move up and keep impacting people. And a lot of people don't totally understand what's going on with them. So they're not equipped themselves, but they can't equip their team. And so my goal is to help equipped women that are leaders so they can literally equip their team and equip their leaders to just do better and bigger things. And so I learned about this crazy thing called the stick man, and it was pretty impressive, because if you think about your mind, what comes to your mind when you think about the mind? When I was asked that, I thought about a big black hole.
Yeah.
What else does your mind look like? I have no idea. We can't see it. There's no picture of it, right? When we think of your car or something, you can see the color and see about it. But when you think about your mind, you don't know what it is. And our mind actually thinks better in pictures. That's why boards are so powerful, because you have to see it before you can make it happen.
Achieve it, yeah.
And so the stick man helps you to see a picture of your mind, so you literally know what's going on inside and how to harness it, how to control it, and how to get better results. And so, when I was in nursing, this is a great kind of thing with it, that when you start to treat like the cause instead of the symptoms, you get better results. So this helps you to figure out what's going on, what that cause is, and to treat the cause, not just to treat the symptoms. So when somebody's saying, I'm procrastinating in my business, I'm recruiting at a really low level, like I can't find my ideal client. Well, those are symptoms of a cause.
Right.
So if you get to the cause, then you clear it up. And so I think that's really big. And the stick man, if you can think like your head and you break it in half, the top part of your head is the conscious mind and the lower half is your subconscious mind.
Okay.
Your conscious mind is all about thinking. So it's where ideas are birthed and your dreams are in there and different things, different thoughts. But your subconscious mind, that's your feeling. That's like your emotional mind. That's what really our subconscious mind drives us more than our conscious mind. And so we really want to focus on your subconscious mind to really make things happen. And we have to be really careful because things go into our subconscious mind and we're totally unaware of it.
Yeah.
Half of it happens to us when we're a little kid. So you're not able to, understand that at that time. And so a lot of times we're fixing things as we get older because of all the kind of damage, the things that we allowed into our brain, all the news we've watched, like all this stuff, it went into our subconscious mind and we're dreaming away, or it's affecting our life, or it's affecting our income because of it. And so the stick man allows us to really like understand that. And so, your mind, it really controls your body. So, if you think about below that piece, that head, that mind, everything, your body, we all have like different energy. You can tell if somebody's in a bad mood or if somebody just by, how you're aligned with them, or like their nonverbals that they're expressing that, we're not even speaking. It's just not thing. And then that goes out in your actions or your behaviors. And so from your actions or behaviors, either you're not asking enough people or you're afraid to ask people because what is being in your subconscious mind, what you're feeling, what you're getting emotionally tied to. And then those actions, you're not taking steps to make things happen. So the results aren't there. And so that's the stick man. It's the conscious, subconscious, right into the body. Your energy is expressed through that. And then it comes out because whatever is expressed or impressed in the subconscious is expressed through your body, through your actions, through your results. So when you see that, you can realize, hey, I'm getting emotionally tied with something that's not in alignment with what I want. And I am not taking the action, and I'm definitely not getting the results. My results are completely negative. And so you can see where you're getting tripped up at. So when you know what's happening, and awareness is key, I think anytime you become more aware of something, you know how to fix it, you know how to get better at it, you know how to improve it. But if you're not aware, then you don't know what's happening. And so I think this is where people get tripped up, and that's why they quit. There's no retention in the industry because they don't know what's happening to them. And so for us, we've all been to school, so we've all been graded. And so for us, we've all seen a report card. And so sometimes we see that report card and we think that's who we are. That's who we are. A report card is literally just telling us where our mind was. Right. When you come into being an entrepreneur, you're seeing your balance sheet of how much money you're making. You're seeing, how many sales you have, how many people you're recruiting, and if it's low, you're saying to yourself, I'm not good enough. Right. I can't do this. Like, what's wrong with me? Because we're thinking it's us. We're identifying as that is who we are when we shouldn't be. It's just we're we're thinking, we're like, what are our thoughts?
Right.
You know, what are we thinking in that moment that has caused that issue? You know, where the cause is at. And so when you start to understand this, you start to learn how to be able to change it. And so the stick man actually literally allows you to change it. And so when you can see that picture in your mind, then you know that you kind of want to reprogram it. You to feed it with good things. And so the subconscious mind does really well with repetition. If you're repeating, you know, a picture in your subconscious mind. So that's why visualization, you know, if you've been somebody and you're like, oh, I've heard this.
Yeah.
Oh, but have you done it?
Yes.
Have you done it over and over again? Because the way to have success is to do things continuously, not occasionally. So you can reprogram your mind by visualizing what you want and not living in your circumstances. So we normally live through our senses. So, you know, what we see, what we smell, what we hear, what we taste, what we touch. But that's not how we want to live. You know, in the Bible, it says to walk by faith, not by sight. And that means specifically of that, that we should not be seeing whatever's going on in our circumstances right now, because it's deceiving and your circumstances can change in an instant. Whereas an entrepreneur, like, you have to understand that you could be like in this area at one point and you're like, this is not how I want it to be. You know, I'm not on track for anything that I want. And then half an hour later, something could have come up and you're like, wow, I just achieved my goal. So don't live through your senses, because they're fleeting. And great. And so you'll get stuck. So you can use journaling. You know, journaling is a huge one to impress on your subconscious what it is that you want to have happen, what your dream is. I like to, you know, we have great phones nowadays, so you can literally record yourself telling yourself what it is that you want and being grateful for something that's not even present. And so dreams are always built, you know, in your conscious mind. They are impressed on your subconscious mind, and we start to feel things, either happy or sad or upset. And if you're, you know, not feeling great, then you know that you're just going to attract not great things to you, and your actions won't be in alignment, and you know, your results won't be in alignment either. So we want to really like watch that as well. But yeah, so you can literally reprogram your mind, fill it with what you want. I think when you start to do that, you kind of get into like creation mode. And so when you're getting into creation mode, it opens up opportunities for you that you didn't were there. You get to see possibilities. You get to realize God is on the throne. He's providing for you. But when you're living through your senses, you're not able to see any of that, because you're literally seeing what's in front of you. So you're seeing the numbers, you're seeing what's not present, and then it throws you out of being grateful as well for things, which is huge. If you've talked to any entrepreneur, they talk about, you know, being grateful for things that you want, things that you have. It just sets you up with a different energy, different alignment. And that's huge. So just reminding yourself of, you know, what are you thinking? So are you in a negative headspace, or are you in a really great headspace? And reminding yourself, okay, what am I thinking now, doing today? You know, am I taking action? Am I being hesitant? Am I procrastinating on the things that I should be doing? Am I saying I, you know, want to put my family first when I told them I was going to work? And so I'm out of alignment.
Right.
I need to straighten that out and fix that. So we can always tell what's going on in the inside by what's happening on the outside. And so the stick man just gives you some clarity, just gives you way more awareness happening, so you know how to shift. And the way to shift is literally reprogramming your mindset, reprogramming the subconscious with the things that you do want. So you're getting into that creation mode, visualization, journaling, whatever you can do to repeat it over and over. Even putting something like on your phone in a screensaver,
Yep.
a wallpaper, and looking at it throughout the day, and you'll start to believe what you see.
Mm-hmm.
Believe what you see, and your life will follow just from doing that. So the six man's, it's huge for just helping, even if you're brand new or you're seasoned, because most people never heard of this. And most people don't know what's going on. Even at a really high leadership level, sometimes you're an unconscious competent. So you're doing the things that you need to be doing to reprogram your brain, but you literally can't, you don't know what's happening. So you can't equip your leaders that are, you can't equip your team because you yourself don't know what's going on.
Right.
So this is where duplication comes in, and you literally can duplicate yourself and just be better at equipping yourself and everybody else.
I love that. Thank you so much for breaking that down for us. There's so much that stuck out to me, like your, you know, the results that you're seeing right now, looking at it as feedback and not as your identity. And I see so many female entrepreneurs specifically putting their identity in their business. And that was me, you know, a few years ago before I started shifting and putting my identity in Christ. And I was putting all my worth into a results that my business. And I'm like, that's not my identity. So I love that you pulled that out. I was like, this is feedback. This is our report card. And we can move forward with this data and make changes and make those shifts that we need to. And one of those shifts could be reprogramming your mind. And so I think that's really important. And I love like everything you were mentioning, like with the vision boards, the journaling I was like, I have a wallpaper, you know, with my, I need to update it because this is last year's vision board, but I took my vision board and put it in a collage on my phone too. And that has just been proven over and over to me, like visualizing, writing it over and over, and really being intentional with what you want, you know, what you think about, what you bring about is going to come to fruition. But I think it also comes back, you mentioned alignment, like making sure it's in alignment with your values and how you want to show up. And is this the person, that higher self or that version of yourself you want to become? Is that actually the person you want to become? And
Right.
checking that with your values. So I think that's really important as well. And I just appreciate you breaking down the stick man because I wasn't quite sure what that was. There's other mindset, concepts that I work with that I've used. So the stickman one was definitely a new way of looking at it. And I liked how you broke it down with like conscious, subconscious, and then your body is like your feelings. And that is so true. I mean, I have a book that's called The Mind Gut Connection. And it's like your mind connects like so much with your body and how your body responds to either being healthy or unhealthy.
Yeah.
It comes back to that holding negative energy, holding trauma, and, you know, working through those emotions and how they affect your body.
Right. A lot of people like struggle with unforgiveness and they're just sick. Like,
yes.
And I've heard a lot of people like they have had really bad health and then their health changes just because they've shifted their mind because they were holding all this stuff inside of them. They literally needed to let go, you know? Right. So it really does, like what we think, I mean, we attract, you know? So you really want to watch, like, who are you surrounding yourself with? You know, what are you allowing into your mind? What are you reading? What are you listening? Because it impacts us and we don't know, we're not even aware of it. Sometimes we get blocked and we don't know what it's blocking us. And it could be something from our past, could be something, an experience that we just had, and it's just going in there and we're getting emotionally tied with it. And then it's producing results, you know, always being really mindful of what's happening.
Yes, that's so true. And if you're a listener and you're struggling with emotional trauma, this is like a whole other podcast, but I really want to encourage you to be reaching out to professionals who deal with releasing trauma, because I know for me, that's helped me move through some mental blocks that I've had, which is releasing, and physical health blocks that I've had. So that's another podcast, but it still ties into like how we hold things in our body and by having it stuck in our subconscious mind. So we need to be able to pull that out and release it and work through it. So just side note, I want to encourage you guys to that is impacting you and you may not know it. So make sure you're getting the right help to work through those things. Anything else you want to talk about, Jen, with the stick man before we wrap up?
I guess to finish off, just like you were talking, like, so in the Bible it talks about putting on the armor of God.
Yes.
Or this topic really reminds me of that, is that there's a reason why we should put on the armor every single day and suit up, because you never know what's coming against you. And so if you protect yourself, then your whole life will be so much better. So just really, like, if you have no idea what that is, then Google it.
Yeah.
And you'll be directed in a great place. But that's so important, as well as we're just, as entrepreneurs, you're doing many things. You're dealing with so many people and so many personalities and things going on. So you really want to protect yourself and be able to attract the things that so you do have to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah,
sorry. So important. No, that's important. And another verse that kept popping in my head was take captive of your thoughts and make them pleasing to the Lord. That popped in my head over and over as you were speaking.
Yeah.
And with the armor of God, if you're looking for a study, Priscilla Shirer does one called the Armor of God, and it was like life-changing. I loved that Bible study.
Yeah. I love anything that she does.
I know.
Again, yeah.
Awesome. Well, where can people find you if they want to work with you, Jen?
So you can find me on Facebook. I actually have a page for leaders in network marketing. It's called Executive Boss Babes. And if you type that in the search bar, you can find me, or you can private message me as well, and I can add you to that. So that's just for women that are high achievers. They're making 5,000 or above, and they really want to equip themselves and equip their leaders that they're building, and really be able to help their team just with retention and understanding like what's going on as they're trying to build a business.
Right.
It's also great place to find me, Executive Boss Babes.
Awesome. And then I had a note. So before we wrap up, I do want to mention real quick, for those of you who are listening to the podcast or on the live as well, don't forget that we just launched our 30-day devotional, and we have extended our pre-order due to our distribution company delaying, so that we're turning that obstacle into a blessing. But we are going to be offering anybody who's listening free shipping. We're gonna no autograph the book before we mail it out to you guys, and you'll get access to 3 free resources from Natalie and myself. So that you can go to www.victoriousentrepreneursrising.com/rise. So I wanted to remind you guys listening or watching this live that is still available for you guys to get the pre-order perks. Jen, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate your time and just breaking down the stickman concept. I think that's such a valuable tool that we can have as we're growing and leveling up this year in 2021. Like, we need to be aware of our mindset and make sure we are making the shifts to reprogram it and focus on the right things that are pleasing to God, that are in alignment with us, and that are basically taking us to be our higher self. So thank you again so much, Jen, for hopping on, and thank you everybody for listening.
Yeah, thank you, Brandie, for having me so I can serve your community. I appreciate it.
Rise to Your Purpose will be a weekly podcast. Our hope is to inspire and educate you on your entrepreneurial journey to help you fuel your passions, live your purpose, and build a business that works for you.
You can subscribe, rate, and comment on any podcast app. We'd love to hear from you. It makes us so happy to see you tuning in to the show. So if you're on Instagram, let us know what your favorite part of the show was by taking a screenshot of the episode you tuned into and tag us at Live Victorious on your story. Let us know what your favorite quote or takeaway from the episode was so that we can be inspired to keep creating content like this for you.
To learn more about us and get involved with our community of mission-driven entrepreneurs, join our Facebook group, Purpose Partners, where we partner together in faith and business. So until next time, build a business that works for you and stay in alignment with your mission.